Good evening and welcome to the Cottonwood Heights City Council Administration of Oath of Office. We're going to get started today. We've asked the color guard for our Cottonwood Heights Police Department to perform the posting of colors. If everyone would rise. On guard. Forward, march. On guard. Halt. On guard. Left, face. Post, color. Sit, arm. Glad to be. Quarter, arm. On guard. Left, face. Forward, march. Thank you. You may be seated. I want to thank everyone for being here with us this evening on such an important day. I also want to recognize some important people that we have in the audience. From Salt Lake County, our Mayor Wilson, Lisa Wilson is here. We're grateful for her being here. Marcy Hausman from the Sandy Council. I think I saw
Clint Morris from Layton City.
I
Believe it
know
or
our
not.
former mayor, Calvin Cullimore, is here as well. So for all of you that are here, we appreciate you being here for this occasion. So what the way that we're going to start this evening is I'm going to allow our council to give some brief remarks. We'll start down here with Councilmember Burrell and work our way down to Councilmember Newell and then Bracken, and then I will give some remarks after that. And then from there, we will move on to the administration of office of oath of office, sorry, to our two newly elected council members. Councilmember Burrell.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm sure, like me, you reflected on 2023 and welcomed in a new chapter called 2024. And so it's with great pleasure and excitement that we go through this ceremony this evening to welcome in our two new members. Well, one is not so new to our council. And so it's a time for me that I am particularly thankful for people who are willing to serve in public office. I appreciate all those who ran, all those who won, and all those who are currently serving, as well as the staff and all the people that come together, the volunteers, to bring us the best governance that we can have here in Cottonwood Heights. And it's a time for me, I'm just going to throw out some of the things that flowed into my mind as I arrived tonight into chambers, things that we appreciate and hopefully don't take for granted here in the United States. Things like freedom of speech, free press, a government of, by, and for the people. You know, in these tumultuous times that we all follow what's going on in our own backyard as well as across the world, the very things that we embrace tonight, and that's the peaceful transference of power, and many of the other things that we know that people have sacrificed to bring so that we can enjoy today. So I want to just again share my excitement and joy and appreciate this opportunity tonight and throughout the year to come.
Good evening, everyone. Let's try that again. Good evening, everyone. All right. I want to make sure everybody's awake. I too am just excited about this opportunity to work with two additional individuals. The responsibilities that we have in municipal government are quite extensive, and we take a great feeling of pride to be able to serve our community members, our constituents, and even those on communities that are outside of our immediate community here in Cottonwood Heights. And to have that opportunity to be able to serve is something to not be taken for granted. I think the two individuals that are going to be joining us here on this council feel that same way, and I really look forward to working with them. And I will look forward to continuing to have a room like this filled with people from our community that care, not just about the individuals that are coming into this position, but that care about the way that we operate as a community, the way that we exist as neighbors, and the way that we share the spaces in which we share as human beings. So I just really look forward to this opportunity to be able to work with these two individuals. I've known Matt for quite some time, and I've gotten to really know Suzanne as well. And I'm excited about working with them closely to help us to continue to create an environment and a community that's conducive to all of us living here together and loving each other as neighbors.
Councilmember Holton.
Well, it was only a few months ago that I got appointed to this position before I ran, and I was just looking at that photo today. Me and my family were standing in this corner. I think Scott actually took the photo. Thank you, Scott. And we didn't have our third kid. And a couple months later, in election, we have our third kid that's here today, which is kind of fun. You know, as I went out there throughout the community, I knew this was an amazing community. But when you go out there and you actually knock on people's doors and you talk to them, I know Derek Brown that's here, he ran for the state house and did something similar in our community. And I know the other people from the other communities have done the same. When I went to these other cities today, Marcy Housemans, who's here from Sandy City, got sworn in today. And there was a common theme throughout all these cities. And it's, they believe that their city is an amazing place to live. And they want to do everything they can to continue to keep it that way. Similar themes as I went and knocked on people's doors, and some were in favor of me and some were in favor of my opponent. I think everyone was obviously in favor of a better Cottonwood Heights at the end of the day. But there were common themes of making sure that this is a great place to raise your family. Make sure that it's a great place that when you're going outside or your kids are walking to school, that you know that they're going to be safe, and that we can come together as a community and we can spend time with one another and we can feel that sense of belonging, and that there's more than just a group of people that, yes, do tax you and do provide some services, but that you actually feel like you belong. There are a lot of people in this community that are widows or live alone, and they don't have a lot of family around. And we want Cottonwood Heights to be their family, the people that they can rely on, the neighbors that they can look to. And that is, I think, all of our focus here is to continue that legacy of what we were founded upon, to make sure that at the end of the day, people love to live here and that everyone's welcome in Cottonwood Heights. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And Councilmember Bracken.
I guess I get a chance for a last few words. A lot has been accomplished and a lot has changed over the last 19 years. I think for the most part, it's been for the better. We've had a couple of hiccups along the way, but we've been able to accomplish things like get Mountain View Elementary changed to a park. We were able to build a city hall here and have some place that we can call home rather than rent out offices in the past, as we did in the past. We established our own police force and kept the same number of bodies that we were paid for previously, but we kept them into our city to help keep our city safer. It helps keep the enforcement in and here and local, and that's been a wonderful add-on. A very few things have stayed the same. Shane's one of them. But Dave Muir is one of them, but they're both, know things. I've learned that following Shane's advice is a very, very wise thing to do. But, I look forward to, seeing Suzanne here and and I will continue to be interested in the way that the city goes. I'm the last of those original ones there. I know Kelvin is here. I don't, he's hiding somewhere in the back, but, there was a lot of work there. And, just in case anybody's curious, if you want to know who to vote for and who's going to win, go by the Browns house and look in their yard. Because this is the only time they said, we kind of need like Suzanne a lot more.
Oh.
I understand that she's very likable. And I know that her and Emily have been friends for a long time. So, the only thing I have left to do is I will take my sign when I exit the dais.
And for those that are just visiting, this is Scott's completion of 19 years. Is that correct? On the city council here, which is pretty amazing, and was here at the very beginning of incorporation.
Thank you, Matt and Scott. If you don't know, we honored Scott a couple of weeks ago at our last meeting in December, and for his 19 years of service and for all that he's done. He's been a voice of wisdom to this council. We don't have a lot of years of experience, but Scott was always there to help us, and so we've been very appreciative, and we wish him well rather with his new challenges and adventures in life. So, as I was preparing for today, I decided to go back a couple of years and to watch the oath of office for myself and Councilmember Newell and Councilmember Burrell. And I watched up here as former Mayor Peterson sat here and conducted his last meeting. And to his left was Councilmember Doug Peterson, who ended up passing away this past year. And I thought, as I was reviewing this meeting, how fleeting life can be and how short it can be, and how much this city will love Doug Peterson and always honor him for his service, and we will miss him greatly. However, government works, and as you see to my left, we appointed Matt into council seat for District 1, and he served honorably in 7 months. Is that right? 6-7 months, and was just reelected. So we're happy for him. One of the things that I want to do, and I don't want to take long, and we'll get this show on the road, but is I found 3 quotes, and these aren't specifically for you, Suzanne. They're for the entire council, and I think the entire council, hopefully, when you hear them, will understand why. The first one I wanted to read to you says, "Mobilize your friends and neighbors to understand that your day-to-day involvement with local government matters far more than a referendum on the White House every 4 years." That will be your job, and that's every one of our jobs, and it's actually everybody's job in this audience to let people know how important local government is and how it affects every single life. Second quote, "In local government, it's very clear to your customers, your citizens, whether or not you're delivering. Either that pothole gets filled in or it doesn't. The results are very much on display, and that creates a very healthy pressure to innovate." One of the reasons I love that is, you know what, we can't solve every problem tomorrow or the next day. And one of the things that we'll be tasked with, and you specifically, Suzanne, is to innovate. And, there's lots of reasons to say no. We can always find a reason to say no, but the best representatives of a city find out ways to solve problems. And so that's one thing that we'll be relying upon you and the rest of those up here on this dais. The last quote I want to share with you says, "When you are in local government, you are on the ground and you are looking into the eyes and hearts of the people you are there to serve. It teaches you to listen. It teaches you to be expansive in the people with whom you talk to. And I think that engagement gives you political judgment." I love the fact that this begins with listening and talking to as many people as you can. And after that, that's when political judgment comes. So anyway, we're excited for the next couple of years. And having said that, we will move on to item number 5 on our agenda, which is the administration of oath of office to newly elected council members. We'll invite our city recorder, Paula Melgar, to come up to the front. And we'll begin first with our council member Matt Holton from District 1. And after the oath of office is sworn in, we will have Matt deliver some remarks to us.
So raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Matt Holton,
I, Matt Holton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Thanks. Thanks so much. I guess I already spoke, so I'll make it short and sweet, but just a thank you to everybody and thank you to the community for sharing their vision of what they want to see happen in Cottonwood Heights. And I hope to push that agenda for them forward. When I was out there, the mayor was just mentioning Doug. Doug was an amazing individual, and there were a lot of people that asked, do you think the way that Doug thought, or how do you align with what Doug did? He was an anchor of that community. And I think we look at the people of the past who have sat in this seat. I hope to continue that legacy. They're still involved in the community. They're amazing individuals who really fought for the city, and I hope to do the same. Grateful for my wife and kids for letting me do this. I think when I asked if it was okay to do this, I'm sure there was reluctance, but I think she might have said something like, if you don't do this, you'll fill the time with something else. So you might as well pick this one to do. But incredibly grateful, and will do everything I can to make all of those in this city proud. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, we will now ask council member elect for the next couple moments anyway, Suzanne Highland, to come up.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Suzanne Hutton,
I, Suzanne Highland,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of,
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity. Thank you.
Ben, you're welcome to come up here and deliver your remarks if you'd like.
Thank you. I'm glad to actually be able to make some remarks facing you instead of standing at the lectern there with my back towards you, because it's the citizens of this community that made me want to sign up for this opportunity. My husband and I have lived in 5 states and 13 different cities. And some of those cities were really hard for us, and they were hard moves for our family. And so we had to stop and think, oh, how are we going to make it here? And we said to our family, if there's always good things wherever you go, it's just what you look for. And that attitude turned into our family's motto, which is do good things with good people. And it's been a guiding force. In fact, when my kids were teenagers, I would say, look me in the eye. Have you been doing good things with good people? And if they could do that, we felt comfortable with what activities they were involved in. And my oldest is smirking because I know he did some things that maybe weren't so good, but I'm grateful to have them here. And that small little baby that you heard is our first grandchild who was born 3 weeks ago. So forgive the beautiful sound. That's a beautiful sound to me. I had a couple of remarks I just want to talk about, and that's that one of the things that's influenced our family, we've lived here for 18 years, even though we've moved in many places. And Utah has some really important values that we all share. And Matt referred to them. One of those is family. One is education. Another is economic opportunity. We value public safety, basic things like clean water and access to public health. And we love recreating. I mean, look at this beautiful place that we live in. And so when you talked about an amazing place to live, that's really what we're trying to preserve among so many other things that we value here. I ran for this seat because I'm concerned about the impacts of growth. And I know all of Utah and many places are feeling that. We are going to have to be very careful with the trade-offs that we make. And with limited land and limited resources, that's when we get put in the hot seat, isn't it? When we have to figure out how to creatively look at those challenges. And when I say creatively, I don't mean, necessarily novel or rogue. What we mean is we look at the things that other people have done, the other communities have done, and we take the best of all of those things and we listen to our citizens and get input on what they want, and then we come back and we repackage something that's going to work for us. And there's a book that's been influential to me because I am in a creative industry, and it was called The Creative Habit by Twyla Tharp. And one of the things I remember from that book in particular is she said, okay, look, we've really lived so long as a civilization that there really are no original ideas. There's only what we do creatively is we look at all of the things that other people have done and we repackage it in some beautiful way. And I look forward to working with all of these people here in this room who are so talented and have so much experience, and we can harness that to creatively meet the challenges that are before us. I was talking to Dan Mills, who is the head of the Planning Commission, Planning Committee, and he was saying that he feels like right now this is kind of a serendipity moment, or what he called lightning in a bottle, because of the things that are coming together right now when we have these challenging times in our community. And I know that there are 100+ other people who could sit in this seat and probably do a better job than I would do. But this is a season of life that an opportunity presented itself where I have the time and the desire to serve. And I am humbled by those who voted for me. I have no personal agenda. It is a pure motive to be able to serve our community and preserve it. That's why we decided to settle in Cottonwood Heights after living in 5 states and 13 cities, because this is such a great place to be. And while I am humbled, I'm also energized by the opportunity. I just can't tell you how much I look forward to serving with the mayor, with each one of these council members I've had the opportunity to get to know. I'm amazed as I've had a little glimpse now of what goes on behind the scenes at all of the volunteers, all of the people who you don't even know exist until you get into a position like this, at historic committee and arts committee, the people who make Butlerville Days happen, so many people who are interested in the same thing. And what I heard tonight is really common values. And that's why we're here, because we genuinely want to serve. I don't feel from any one of us that we have a motive for personal, aggrandization. It's really that we want to serve. So I look forward to working with you all for the next 4 years. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Councilmember Highland. It's too late now to back out, so you're in. So I just wanted to, I mentioned some people that were here before, and I didn't want to leave anybody out, and I apologize if I still do, but Derek Brown has been an elected official and he's here with his wife Emily. Dee Theodore from the Salt Lake County Council, Deputy Mayor Lisa Wilson is here too. So thank you all. And Larry Stringham, sorry, Larry. Oh, Larry Stringham right there. Sorry, Larry, from the county council as well. Anyway, Molly Wheeler from the league, and we're appreciative of all who have come to support us in this fun evening. So at this point, I am going to do something I haven't done in two years, which is use my gavel to adjourn this meeting. And before I do that, I'll give you just an idea what we're going to do. At 6 o'clock, we will have a 15-minute work session to take care of some work. Starting at 6:15, we'll move across to the Cullimore Community Room to have a reception for Suzanne and Matt. And then we will have a short business meeting at 7 o'clock. And with that, I adjourn. Thank you.